Last reminder, MBM turned to a spirit. No one can hear him except us, so there's a lot of stretches of silence. But thankfully, everything goes back to normal with an all-living commentary cast next part. We apologize, and thank you for sticking by if you've gotten this far. Welcome back to more Mad World, same crew. And now we're gonna go, is this? Yep, this is the driving section.
I love this stage. For the music alone.
I will say I like the bike riding. I kind of hate the boss of this level.
This level, yes. There's another boss later in the game where you fight him while driving, and that boss is really fun.
About to race down the nastiest stretch of pavement in Farragut City. This straightaway was a bitch even before it was modified.
I was gonna say, yeah, they're still in now. They've been in since the 80s and they're still in now.
Busted bridges and motorized motherfuckers who will frag you for a laugh. Well, it is kind of funny when the douchebags get fragged. Indeed it is, Grease. Indeed.
The absolute mad lads.
I just remember playing this for the first time, and for some reason I just had Crisis City like flashbacks. I like the Mark Speed section of Crisis. If the Mark Speed section of Crisis City controlled actually good, that is what this level is kind of.
Dun 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 dun. Dun. I mean, the whole thing is just a straight line anyway.
Hey, look at this great level design, boys. Straight line.
Straight line zone. Fucking Sonic Team.
Wasn't there a part in Final Fantasy VII that was just like this too?
Oh my god, guys, for years, for like 2 years now, we've all been shitting on Sonic Forces, but now they're just trying to emulate Mad World's level design. Sonic Forces, you've been redeemed because you're the Mad World sequel we all deserved.
I thought it wasn't cool to hate on Forces anymore.
Who said that?
We're bringing it back.
Shut up, Hat Talk. That
No
game
one-
sucks.
Oh, poor Hat.
Got him.
Incoming assholes at 6 o'clock. Whoa, those guys are burning up the road. Too bad for those assholes. There's no exit from this highway. I hate it when that buggy's pretty buff. Jack's gonna have to hit it harder. Jack better watch. That motherfucking mob is halfway up his tailpipe. Speaking of stuff up the tailpipe, eyes on the road, Howard. To do that to some of those messengers. Those assholes really is bad. We didn't even allow the traffic and cut in front of me. The freeway. Little man, here, have a drink. Talk about your backseat drivers.
That sounds really fun. Yeah, maybe this is a homage to that.
I wonder, does Sega still partially own the rights to Mad World, or is it all completely Platinum?
They own it.
All right. Yeah, I'm wondering if there is if there was to be more Mad World or a remake or sequel or whatever, it's like would Sega need to be involved, or would this be like a Bayonetta situation where any other?
You know,
yeah.
it's like, I think, because Chris and I have had this conversation more than once. It's like on one hand, it is somewhat disheartening that Sega have a bunch of these IP that, you know, which are maybe not the greatest IP in terms of brand recognition available, but they have IP you could do good work with that they tend to do nothing with. However, you have to give props to Sega for allowing other companies to do something, you know, because we got fucking what? Sega themselves clearly have no interest in like Bayonetta or Shenmue, but they're letting other companies, or Streets of Rage, but they're letting other companies use their IP again. You know, it's like, you know, I would love if Sega just, you know, if in 2020 Sega just went, fuck it, again, another Mad World, another like Golden Axe, another Knights, you know, like we're bringing back all our fucking old IP again. We're gonna make Sega like relevant again. Won't happen, but maybe if companies come out and say, hey, I have an interesting take on fucking Choo Choo Rocket, you know, can I have a crack at it? It seems likely that Sega would say yes. So So yay, Sega, it's like good for you. You let people do shit that you don't want to do yourself, and I.
Well,
Is
yeah,
there
right.
supposed to be a new Choo Rocket coming
There
out
is
soon?
Choo Choo Rocket was a bad example
already out.
because they just released one for the Apple Arcade
Okay,
system.
yeah.
But
Okay.
Jack better take that advantage of whatever he wants to survive. Why wouldn't Jack want to survive? You think he's suicidal?
Yeah, because they own Atlas. So
Yeah.
and remember, yeah. I was about to say that. Doesn't Izuka keep saying that he wants to make like a Samba de Amigo game, but just Sega's just like they're unsure about it.
Knights. It's Knights he wants to keep doing.
The Switch would be perfect for Samba de Amigo.
what? Again, it's like at the end of the day, Sega are a business, and so there may be IP they want because I'm sure there are people who look at Sega now who want to redo all of these IP. I think the problem is that a lot of them around in like the PS2 era, they did like a new Golden Axe, they did like a new Shinobi, but I guess they just didn't sell well at all. And you know, I'm sure the creatives at Sega want to use his IP, but I'm sure the stockholders are like, I don't know, seems risky. Let's just do another Sonic game. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it says a lot that nowadays Sonic isn't even their like most prized IP, that they've kind of pushed to the side a lot of the time. Their big IPs is, like you said, Persona and Yakuza. Those are their two big money sellers that they're like going so far to push.
Sonic is now like the Mickey Mouse, where like he's without a question their mascot, and he is the character that, you know, if Sega need to like slap a character on like a fucking lunchbox, they'll use the hedgehog the way Mickey Mouse does. But it's like Disney now are way more interested in all the shit they've acquired. So so like Atlas is kind of like the MCU in terms of like Disney and Sega. Because Disney have just again, that's another thing I would give Sega props for. They bought kind of like Disney, and this some people may not like what I'm about to say, but Disney did a thing where they bought these companies like Marvel. They bought Marvel, and I want to say Bob Iger's quote was something like, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it." Generally speaking, Disney haven't, from what we can gather, haven't tried to mousify some of the content they produce. It seems like with Sega, they're kind of letting Atlas do what the fuck they want to do. You know?
Oh yeah, that's what they said when they first bought them. That they just gonna let them do whatever they want.
Yeah, I mean, like Disney's big problem isn't the fact that they're changing stuff; it's just the fact that they're buying stuff in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then with Sega and like game companies in general, it's like, oh, you buy Atlas. People are like, well, it's like, who cares? It's like Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony are like so big in general that they're like, yes, Sega, you can buy whatever. And then all these other companies will either stay around or die or whatever. So if you want to save them, they're like, go ahead.
Chris, you might actually know the answer to this question. Obviously, if we exclude the first-party studios, in terms of like the big third-party, like your Capcoms, your Konamis, what have you, how much of a player are Sega still now? Because I mean, I know obviously they don't have the greatest. Oh, sorry.
It's a very broad question. I'm not
they
sure how to
still
answer
don't
it.
have like the most relevant. I guess maybe if we break it down, like, do you know sales wise, if Sega still are like even in the same league as like a Capcom or like a Konami type of thing?
I don't really follow Capcom or like other companies like that. I can say I think Sega had a recent loss in a financial quarter. And that's probably the most I can say, because that's a really big question.
It seems like over the last year, Capcom have been fucking crushing it. You know, they've seemed just to be releasing hit after hit of games that the public loved and sold fucking shitload. Because isn't like did Mega Man 11 just recently cross like 1 million sales, which for that series is fucking good.
Actually, I think I do know more about this.
Monster Hunter World too.
Yeah, Devil May Cry.
And all the Resident Evil, all the Resident Evil
Resident Evil 2
games.
remake, everyone fucking loved that, you know.
Yeah, and now the Resident Evil 3 remake.
Yeah, actually, I think if you directly compare Capcom and Sega,
But
now I'm thinking about
the
it.
Sega thing, I
Chris,
think.
I want to hear this, Chris. You saying?
Like the Capcom stuff, like Devil May Cry sold almost 3 million copies, and that's kind of a niche series. I think Resident Evil 2 sold better than that. Monster Hunter is like the biggest selling Capcom game ever.
Yeah.
That last one they did for the PS4 and everything. So I'd say actually directly comparing those two, Sega's probably not doing as well.
Sega might be a better to compare to Konami right now.
Yeah,
Oh my God, yeah.
I was gonna say, I think console wise, yeah, they're not doing too good, but I think they're still pretty like one of the top in arcade scene in Japan.
that's probably the thing.
Literally, I took my son to an arcade today, and so many not crappy, but like so many of just like random games there were made by Sega. Like I put them on 2 different kid like racing games, and like it wasn't like Sega wasn't branded on it, but like in the corner it would say like made by Sega, and I'm like, that's crazy. Put Sonic in this, man. People play it more.
That's what I think, that even beyond sales wise, I think Sega as a brand sticks out both because of like Sonic, all that their history with their consoles and stuff like that, and the arcades and all that. I think they're, even when they don't make as much money in like their overall game sales, their brand still has them like high up. Like I think that's why I think, yeah, and brand wise, I think they're on par with Capcom still, even though Capcom, like, yeah, sales wise and success far outreach them at the moment.
Yeah.
I think we could also say that
I agree with
Sega has a good strong logo. That
Yeah.
font is just it's good.
Altered Beast fucking sucks, but everyone knows Altered
Oh my
Beast.
god, yeah. And
And also stuff like, yeah.
I cannot fucking wait for Streets of Rage 4. Cannot fucking wait.
That, Panzer Dragoon remakes, House of the Dead remakes. There's some cool stuff coming for Sega. I'm excited about it.
Oh yeah, is the Panzer Dragoon? Yeah, you mentioned. Did you mention Panzer
Oh
Dragoon?
yeah, that too. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, so that's like Sega's.
And then there's like where.
See, Jack is a Democrat. Good for him.
That's like Sega's new thing. Is like they're not gonna risk their own money on bringing the IP back, but they'll gladly license it out. And I
Yeah.
think that's probably the way you're going to see those old IPs come back.
Say Sega are a smart company.
You got to make it.
And you gotta help.
Right? Someone give me Bad Religion's email.
Maxi, you have to make a mod of Crazy Taxi, then show it to them, and then they'll be like, okay, you can make one.
But yeah, I feel like if
These are the songs I would maybe put in a Crazy Taxi sequel. You got it. You got it. Maxie, let's go.
Outrageous Uber.
You put songs other than All I Want, you're hired.
I feel like if Sega were to give Knights another chance and license it out to a different company, I feel like it would probably be Nintendo, because Miyamoto has showed interest in the Knight series before. Like it was
Even then, like Miyamoto wouldn't make it.
He wouldn't make it. He'd probably have his team do it, but still, like he has been quoted to say like one of the Sega franchises he would love to get his hands on is Knights.
Well, I mean, wasn't it the famous thing where he was like the one game he wished he'd worked on was the original Knights, and it's like this might be sacrilege for me to say, but I'm like, go back and play that game today. You're an idiot, Miyamoto.
Well, to be fair, I think he said that.
He said
back
he
when
said
Knights
it.
was-
He
yeah.
said it at the time, but it's like I know this is. I mean, even this has gone back a few years, but when we did the FTCRLP, go watch it. It's pretty good. I was going into that game like completely new, and I was just like, I kind of understand why this game kind of has the legacy it does, but Knights is not a game I think you can go into today and be like, this is the best game ever made, because it's not by a long shot.
I mean, like a lot of
True. You know
Shenmue is
what?
a modern masterpiece.
With Mexi, with
changed
Shenmue
games.
you could, because after the opening cutscene, you can just spend every day going to the arcade to play Super Hang-On and buy Sonic the Hedgehog figures. Best game ever
You'll play
made.
better games, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I need to. I need to avenge my father's death. To the arcade.
I'm gonna put this energy out in the world for Bobby, Sonic Says podcast member, probably. I think he still does it. I don't even know. But there's that Knight's Dream World or Dream Wheel copyright, right? So Bobby approached me one of the last times I was over, and he was like, "So that Knight's Dream Wheel, you know how there's that Ring Fit Adventure Nintendo just put out with the big wheel thing?" And I was like, "Oh no, you better not." So I'm gonna put that energy out into the world and say, please don't. But if you do, I'll probably buy it and hate it.
Yeah, same.
Well, no, the thing with Knights, again, this is something we've talked about years ago, but so many of Sega's IP are perfect.
Oh, we talk about this
I
all
know
the
we
time,
do.
man.
So many of Sega's IP are perfect fodder for smaller, cheaper, digital-only games. You know, it's like you can pretty much most of the, you know, like fucking Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Shinobi, and the other like Dynamite Headdy, Restart. Like you could make so many like digital only games of just so many Sega IP.
I mean, the same thing could be said for Nintendo too, though.
There was a digital-only Choo Choo Rocket game that came out like several years ago, and I remember playing it. And I'm like, "Oh, this is pretty decent for a digital-only game like this."
A few years ago, they were doing that for like new IPs too, like Tempo the Badass Elephant. Oh, was that game?
Is that any good?
You know.
Is that actually any good?
That reminds me, when's lunch or dinner?
Yeah,
I played like half of it. It's fine.
yeah. I think that was like Sega and Game Freak, which is a weird combination.
Oh, that was Game Freak.
I just remember sitting at that Momocon booth, and we were playing it. It's a demo build. Like, it's not going to run great, but it was just running so poorly. I was like, oh my god, they brought this here? They want this to be people's impression of the game? Oh my god.
I.
And look who's rolling in, that ironclad asshole who thinks he's the fifth beating. I hope Jack kicks his fat armored ass.
See this
How can I play this like Sonic?
this character is the precursor to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutants in Manhattan.
Oh, so it's bad?
Exactly, it's pretty bad. I just remember, I think we said this before, I just remember when we got to take that picture, we asked that Sega employee to take our picture,
yeah.
standing by a Sega sign, and we all looked sad, but Chris pushed out, and he smiled, and everyone else was looking depressed. But Chris,
I didn't smile. I had a
You
harmed
looked
expression
happy.
with a slightly upcurled
no,
smile.
everyone else had their heads down and looked sad. But Chris was like beaming in the pictures, like you said. This was your
I wasn't
idea, Chris.
beaming. You don't even know what you're talking about,
Chris,
sir.
Chris was winking.
I was having the realization that was a second employee.
Chris was winking. He was like thumbs up. He was like finger guns.
I was
going,
tap dancing
"Yay,
in a
buddy."
still photo.
He's like, "I love Sega. Give me a Knights."
Yeah, Chris.
I was like, where's my paycheck?
Chris pulled out a T-shirt that said "I love Sega" and put it on while we were taking the picture. You bastard.
Kicked Mario in the
I like
nuts.
I
That was
like
a great picture.
I like Yakuza.
I liked Yakuza.
I like
before it was
like
cool.
Yakuza before it was
I just
cool.
said that. You damn copycat.
Oh,
I think that guy went on to be the localization director.
Mad World Yakuza crossover. I'm calling it now.
I would love to see Kiryu and Jack meet.
That's hot.
Yep.
Man, I can't believe they put fast forward features in games. Fuck that.
See, Stefan, the fact that you use that means you haven't actually completed this game.
You finished it, but you didn't beat it. Piece of shit.
I like the fact that yesterday Chris was complaining, everyone was making jokes about that, but then you brought it up
Giving
in
into
this
the darkness.
opinion.
Well, I was just like, no one cares about this guy's opinion every other day of the year. Why is this all on my Twitter right now?
He's an
I was very
absolute
upset.
dickhead, that's why.
It's because it's a hot take. You know what Twitter is? Twitter is about a hot take and people getting mad or glad about said hot take. That's
My
all
Twitter's
it
just
exists
possums.
Possums.
No.
Yeah, other than possums every hour. That's the only good account.
Wait,
Yeah, I've unfollowed everyone
is
else.
there an account that just posts pictures of a possum every hour?
Damn right.
Well, there are different pictures of possums, but yeah.
My
possum
favorite,
every
one of my
hour.
favorite things of that, it's a Facebook account that's just the same picture of Jim Carrey every single day. And at 3 o'clock, at
I
3
love those
o'clock,
too.
they post the same image of Jim Carrey every single day.
See, I make that. If only. Oh yeah, the Nut Hut Facebook group. Rest in peace. Great pictures there.
See, now Jack is just Leonardo.
You dual wield it.
And now he's Hulk.
This is a specific thing I've always wondered, but I don't know how to phrase it to like Google it. The whole I'm gonna grab a character and whack him left and right and left and right. Is there a name for that? Like, where did that originate?
No, that was before. I want to say that it feels like it's before Hulk.
Well, when you say Hulk, are you referring to just the Avengers?
Well, yeah.
I mean, if there's no name for it, we could coin one right now.
We could coin it as Hulkin. It's being Hulk.
Let's call it the computer room. That way we can get some traffic from it. Come on, guys, think big.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Sonic and Unleashed did that too.
Well, I know in Futurama where Bender fights Destructor, Destructor does that to Bender. So like it's like I guess it's just a common thing. If you're if you have one character who's insanely stronger than another character, flinging them around like a ragdoll is a kind of obvious thing.
Ragdoll. That was the word I was thinking of.
Describing Futurama like it's an anime or something.
It's so hyper specific is my thing. It's like it had to come from somewhere because it's so unorganic.
It feels like something that came from a Japanese samurai film. I don't know why. It feels like
a samurai movie. I can't see a samurai.
Not a samurai movie, but one of those over the top like kung fu.
Because I'm pretty sure picking up someone and ragdolling them is like the opposite of what samurais normally do.
I was seeing this. I was seeing the swords Jack was holding, and I'm like, samurai. No, wait, that wasn't what I was thinking of.
Samurai Jack. No, not that one.
Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack Season 5.
Man, how is there never a good Samurai Jack game though? Platinum, get on it.
He had a Game Boy game, but the name was confusing.
Any of those any good? Any?
Yeah, I said good, sir.
Yeah, any of those like Smash Brother rip-off Cartoon Network games any good?
No.
Not really.
No.
We should play one.
Now that I think about it, I think there was a Samurai
All-Star
Jack
game.
game that got canceled.
All-Stars game in Season 6.
Oh my.
Oh, she's a fembot. Somebody get her.
Machine Gun Jubblies. How'd I miss those?
Oh, Sega published a Samurai Jack game. Great.
What?
We're topical. The Shadow of Aku.
On what system?
At least in America.
GBA?
GBA?
PS2, GameCube.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
I could have sworn it was a GBA game too.
A mid-2000s licensed game, so it's probably either surprisingly good or very forgettably generic. It's
three
one of those two.
developers, so-
It's never any other options.
Were there
to
any
those two.
surprisingly good ones in that area?
So the SpongeBob game, a couple of SpongeBob games were really
Yeah,
good.
Battle for Bikini Bottom was like really
Yeah.
good.
Simpsons Hit and Run.
Hit and Run. I know a lot of people may not agree with this. I am a somewhat defender of the Futurama game.
Never played it.
I
disagree.
never played it.
Never even seen it.
It was
You have the tepid response.
It was going to be this is how the GameCube release was cancelled. It only came out for PS2 and Xbox.
It's been a long time since I've played the Family Guy one, and I remember that being just...
Which
just
one?
meh.
The original or the multiverse?
The original Family Guy game
The original,
that on
yeah.
PS2.
Yeah, I played that one too. That one was weird.
I like the Simpsons. I like the Simpsons game.
I love the violence in this game. It's so dumb. I love it.
Boobs and spikes. She never gets any blood.
She's
on
the
her.
perfect woman. Boobs and spikes. Go!
Yeah, this is the one you mentioned, Mex. This is the one you mentioned, Mexi.
There's
That is a really cool idea of just you shake it up and then
Shake it,
that's
shake
how
it,
you
shake
get them
it,
to
baby.
fire.
Shake it, shake
there's
it.
also a
shake it,
fireworks one that's kind of similar to this.
Give me some,
That might be
Yeah,
the
it's
next
later.
love it.
Okay.
He just kind of shoves them in their face.
to a refreshing beverage on his way to massive injury.
So Stefan, how good's the aim on? Does it like auto aim the bad guys onto the spikes, or do you really have to make an effort to get it on, like get them on there?
It depends. It's like if you shoot it far enough, like if you have the stuff you're shooting, like if it's hard enough, it'll aim at it like directly. But like if you don't have it, then it will miss. Like say I'm trying to get that circle one. I'm trying to get the lower target, but I realized that I realized too late that you're not actually supposed to shake it to get it. So then I just go for that. Yeah. So as long as you shake it enough, it'll reach it in time. Yeah, I think I realized that too late, and I'm like, oh, the game tricked me.
Oh, so this is a tremendous waste of alcohol.
He nails the titty target. You're loving this, aren't you? Yes.
Especially in Canada.
God.
So when
I went to a Catholic school, so yes.
So
Yeah, it was Dayton.
What?
Literally Dayton.
Whoa! What is this?
30 seconds. You should. Talking guys with mouthfuls of mag juice and pop. Reminds me of my college years. Now just the right one is left. And
Oh my god! I would totally stay a virgin to get free pizza. I ain't gonna lie.
That's just good. That's just good business, right?
Yeah, that's just incentive.
Because nobody but virgins go to Pizza Hut, so that completely makes sense.
I mean, you could lose your virginity and just keep the card.
No, that's illegal, Toki. No.
Take the card, keep the virginity.
So you guys saw that the Domino's chief financial officer died in a freak snorkeling accident.
Oh no! The day of reckoning is among us.
That's a good.
This is
fucking
why
meme.
we
I'm
need
glad
the
that
Phantom
happened.
Thieves.
It'll just be called like Papa. The movie's called Papa. Have like a really sad Spice Girls remix in the trailer.
Fucking Yakuza.
Papa, whoosh. Stefan, did you?
Papa's got a brand new badge.
here comes Rin Rin, the fantastic Kung Fu Queen. Kreese, didn't the two of you have a thing a while back? If by thing you mean a 5-minute fight that left me spitting teeth and pissing blood, yeah, then we had a thing.
I'm going to enjoy every moment.
Yeah, Inaki Reigns.
I knew Rihanna was a woman.
What?
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 Rihanna's the predator?
I think I saw a fever when Rin Rin did it.
Oh, dads.
Looks like a man, Dad.
I'm going to enjoy every
Yeah, I think they remixed it in Inaki Reigns. But speaking of Philistine, which version of Philistine do you prefer? The US version or the Japanese version?
I gotta go with US. I love those lyrics. I love that singer.
I like the Japanese version more. I think the Japanese instrumentally, the Japanese version just seems better to me.
Reaper, Reaper.
Like, I don't know. If if it was the Japanese version but like wasn't auto-tuned, then it'd just be perfect.
Jack can't be the girl and she turning his testing. Fucking fan fluid move of Rin Rin's is more annoying than dangerous. Yeah, but getting annoyed is dangerous. In that case, you make me very, very dangerous.
You know, I think I prefer the Japanese intro, but the credit version of Sonic Boom is better. I just did.
Also, you
that's
can-
literally a CD joke, Mexi. What are you talking about? Sonic Boom is the
the
US
song.
theme song to Sonic CD, bro.
Also,
Hey,
also,
it's not-
also, we got this super violent game. We got this girl with giant scissors. Kill la Kill ripped this off.
It's
Oh, anime.
it's the Scissorman bomb. What the
I'm
fuck?
just gonna say it. It's not Mexi's fault that there's like 30 things called Sonic Boom in the Sonic series. I don't blame
Yes.
him. So I'm gonna ask an anime question and get this to be the most commented video on FTCR because I'm sure our audience is full of weebs. Is Kill la Kill worth watching? I liked Gurren Lagann. Okay.
Yeah.
But are there boobs in
And
it?
animation wise alone, it's
Venezuela. I'm going to enjoy every moment.
But are there
Okay.
boobs
but
in it?
Mexi,
Mexi,
Mako is best.
somebody answer my goddamn question. Are there boobs in it?
There are under boobs.
Everybody is like completely naked in that.
See, that's
you know
why-
what? This is a Christian household, so I will not watch that. Chris, you're banned from
That's
watching
why
it.
I've been afraid to watch it. There's so many under boobs.
Oh my god, that's amazing! That's incredible!
I just didn't want to lose my free Pizza Hut pizza. While I watched it. Are you saying he's gonna watch?
Jesus wants you.
Are we gonna watch Kill la Kill
Jesus
together?
wants you to have those hot wings.
Yeah, I said, don't you know
Jesus likes
is
Kill la
an anime-
Kill. It's
yeah,
okay.
Jesus is an anime fan.
That might be the most sacrilegious thing that's ever been said on this channel. Jesus is an anime fan. How fucking dare you insult our Lord
He
and
created-
Savior by
He created the humans that created
besmirching him
anime,
like
so-
that.
Sacrilegious.
Oh my god, that's Jesus eating the Virgin Pizza Hut pizza. Sacrilegious.
The 99 cheese pizza.
Could Jesus make a virgin pizza so slutty he stops being a virgin? We literally tried to break an Alexa yesterday by asking it a question like that. Dear Alexa, could God create a rock so heavy even he couldn't lift it? Then there was a long pause. I don't have an answer for that. It shut itself off. Doesn't Flanders go? I guess he could. God can do anything.
I think so.
I like the episode where Homer becomes smart and he mathematically proves that there's no God. And Flanders is like, oh God, this is accurate. Virgin pizza, bye.
We gotta get it up. Let's go, y'all. Let's go.